Ladies and gentlemen, I am Commodore retired Sadeed Malik, the Secretary General of Institute of Nation Building. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all darkness around that we see. In this era of simply putting it, chori chakari, makkar parade, corruption, everything and everything. We have to, as they say, that in this darkness, do not curse the darkness, but burn a candle. We are certain that Institute of Nation Building will be, inshallah, a source of torchlight in this darkness. I know we have a lot, you will learn a lot from our Vice Chairman and, of course, Lt Gen Humayun Aziz. And without any further ado, may I request our Senior Vice Chairman, Quaid-e-Azam's grandnephew, Mr. Lt for his address.
Our chief guest for this afternoon, Lt Gen Humayun Aziz, Honorable Chief Minister Sindh Murad Ali Shah, Vice Chairman Ikram Sehgal, members of the Board of Management of Quaid-e-Azamhouse, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I must profusely thank Lt Gen Humayun Aziz for taking out the time to come to Karachi for a function yesterday hosted by Mr. Ikram Sehgal and for this function hosted at this Quaid-e-Azamhouse. It was indeed kind of you, sir. The second reason I wish to thank Lt Gen Humayun Aziz is he is the gentleman here who encouraged us throughout to develop and take on this responsibility which we have. In fact, there are two other persons who played a very key, pivotal role in what we are trying to do at Quaid-e-Azamhouse Museum and make it into an Institute of Nation Building. And those people are Right Honorable Chief Minister Murad Ali Shah and the Vice Chairman Mr. Ikram Sehgal. Without Humayun Aziz, Mr. Murad Ali Shah and Ikram Sehgal, none of this would have been possible. So please give them a big hand. And I wish to myself acknowledge their immense support and effort that they have put into this project. No doubt, we have plans, we have big plans, but we will need the continuous support, encouragement of the government of Sindh. And we expect Mr. Murad Ali Shah to continue to extend to us the same support as he extended up to us up to date. Plans are, as the Secretary General Commodore Sadeed Malik mentioned, is to invite the younger generation of students in Karachi and all over Pakistan to visit this place. When there are more students, we can put up shamiyanas and hold functions there, elocution, declamation, debating, film shows, and invite speakers who will speak, parliamentarians, other speakers in Pakistan and Pakistan's leaders to educate our younger generation on what Pakistan is all about and what we intend to achieve in this country for. The second most important reason we want to achieve is we want to inculcate in the younger generation a sense of responsibility and for the development of leadership in the role model of Mr. Jinnah. And his role model had one or two most important characteristics which were described by other authors outside. He said he was a person who had public honor and private integrity. These are the two qualities we want to develop in our younger generation: honor and integrity, which are most important to us. And with these few words, I will thank you once again, all of you here today, including our chief guests, honored guests, for being here with us this evening. And we hope with all of you here, will continue to extend to the Board of Management, this large Board of Management comprising of very eminent people, extend to us your support and cooperation as we go forward to achieve the objects laid out before us. Thank you very much.
नहमदुहु व नसल्ली अला रसूलिल करीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. Honorable Chief Minister Sayyid Murad Ali Shah Sahab, Chairman KCR Kham Sehgal Sahab, Jinnah Society represented by Lt Gen Sahab, and honorable members sitting here, Assalamu alaikum. It's a matter of great pride and honor for me to be here with you on this special occasion for a very sacred cause, a cause close to my heart. We are a generation which was brought up by the people who saw creation of Pakistan. Our parents told us the stories of how this struggle actually took place. It's a failure of our generation that we were not able to pass on the same spirit to our next generation. We were so enamored by the brightness of the world around us and the problems of raising our living standards and the problems of becoming something amenable to the West, that most of our generation forgot the culture, the reason why Pakistan was created, and forgot to pass on that very, very important foundation of knowledge that would have created the spirit of a nation. What does it mean to be a Pakistani? Why Pakistan was created? Over a period of time, some people honestly, and most of them because of an agenda, tried to obfuscate the founding principles, tried to even obfuscate the history of the very essential person without whom there would have been no Pakistan. So there came a debate, was Quaid-e-Azam secular, was Quaid-e-Azam fundamentalist, or and then there were people who were talking about his personality and then comparing him with so many other things. So we started seeing Quaid-e-Azam's different versions coming up, which none of them actually represented what he was. This was something which pained me, and I tried to play my part wherever I was. And I'm sure, like me, many of the people who are sitting here, I'm sure they are sitting here because they feel the same way. So we gathered for a common cause, and wherever we worked, we tried in our way to bring back the reality of what was Pakistan and what was Quaid-e-Azam who made this Pakistan. We are at the cusp of a change in the world history in the way the knowledge is gathered. For last 300-400 years, words have been the primary mean of transfer of knowledge, but now it is changing back to personal interaction, and it is changing back to videos, which initially used to be personal interaction, but now it is video interaction and pictorial representation. Talks are again becoming more important in transfer of knowledge. The oral history is being replicated in a new way, that now oral history is also recorded on different mediums, and it is repeated, and one can access it in multiple ways. But the main thing is that our gathering of knowledge and our records of knowledge of last 100 years related to Pakistan movement, or starting even earlier from the very beginning of Muslim resistance and Muslim identity, which led to creation of Pakistan. So I'm sure, sir, under your patronage and with your support, we'll be able to build this place into something which it really deserves to be. Not just a relic of our past, but also a beacon to our future. So thank you very much, sir, and thank you for all of you for joining us on this day.
Assalamu alaikum. It's an honor to be here. Actually, I got this invitation a couple of days ago, and I was told that this event was being held in honor of Lt Gen Humayun. And when we signed this tripartite agreement, I remember that day, Lt Humayun was traveling somewhere and he could not attend. So I told him that we postpone this and hold it when you are available. And he said, no, please, this is very close to my heart. I don't want to delay it for single minute for any reason. So, that's why I was very happy that the United Society and the organization thought it fit to call him here and have him speak also. He gave the reason for forming, how this all came together. As everybody said, this came to me. Humayun actually initially gave me this idea and to me. I said, as it is, the government of Sindh, we, in my leadership and the government of Sindh, is a strong proponent of getting the private sector involved in all ventures where the private sector can contribute and add value. And this was what the government itself, even if we had the idea, we would not have been able to do it. It needed people with passion, it needed people with dedication to do it. And we found the correct mix. I told him that when Liaquat Merchant Sahab, back in 85, now interviewed me for the Quaid-e-Azam Scholarship Trust. And I got that scholarship and I went abroad for studies. And that helped in my studies at that time. So I was indebted to the Quaid-e-Azam Scholarship at that time. And one of the primary reasons Liaquat was to come and meet you also and thank you after 30 years for that scholarship that you've given me. So the position that I am, I've already said the day that we signed the tripartite MOU, the government of Sindh will be behind this. Any support that is needed from the government of Sindh will be more than available. If you have any problems anywhere, may they be some administrative issues, financial issues, please feel free to approach the government as it is your own part of. We are partners in this, and the government would fulfill all its commitments and more. The reason that we have not, and I was just going through from, I don't have a very good eyesight, but I could read some of it from where I was sitting. If we follow the principles of Quaid-e-Azam, whatever problems that we are facing right now, I read one of the quotes. I read about that we've got this country through dialogue, through negotiation, through the power of 10. And this was 31st of August 1947. He's speaking at Lahore, and I'm sure at that time there must have been, just after partition, there was butchery, there was savageness, and he said, are we going to throw it all away to butchery and savageness? And that is what we are doing right now. So all we need to do is follow the teachings of the Quaid-e-Azam and follow his, whatever he had in mind when this country was. We always talk about the vision of Quaid-e-Azam, which we have forgotten. We need to go back, and this institute can play a pivotal role in educating, in imparting knowledge to our new generation for that. So once again, I thank you for inviting me here today, and it was, as I said, an honor to come here. We missed you, Gen Humayun, when we signed the tripartite MOU, and today, with you being here, I believe today we've completed that partnership with you being here. Thank you very much.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Lt Gen Humayun Aziz, Honorable Chief Minister, Liaquat Merchant, Quaid-e-Azam, distinguished guests, all assembled here. First of all, thank you very much for coming. Very short notice to be here. You heard all that you have because how this thing came about, so I'm not going to repeat it. But I'm going to say this, that it does take a team to make things work. It does take passion. And it took the passion of Lt Gen Humayun Aziz because he was very passionate about it. We talked about it. And we discussed the Quaid-e-Azam as a photo opportunity for people. Nothing really to where somebody to follow something. And we just got lucky. We just got lucky that other than Humayun Aziz, we had the Honorable Chief Minister Shah here. I am known to be a very blunt columnist. I'm known that governments and institutions don't like me too much. So I say things about them which they don't like. But I tell you that, sir, without doubt, you're the finest chief Mr. Singh has ever had. That is, I want to say that in respect, without doubt. And I know, and I don't want to talk about it, okay, all the limitations that he goes through, but he manages to keep his patience, he manages to go through it. And since he's an engineer, I would like to say here two things. We have no problems at the end when raising money, I'm sure. We have people like this year, head of the Resource Mobilization Committee. We have with us one of the finest architects, Lt Gen doing pro bono in this thing. What we have down is, and a little discordant note, is below the bureaucracy does not got your messages. And just to give you one example, why, and it's a little bit, we discovered here there are no really washrooms for people. And we decided that now the thing we're having a function here, there's a storeroom here which could turn into a washroom. And we thought about it, let's do it very quickly. So a sewage pipe had to be laid from there to the garden, about 30 feet away. A letter was written from the director of our Quaid-e-Azam, said that this should not happen. They're disturbing this thing. After that, the Rangers came into it. They sent an intelligence unit, investigated how the sewage pipe was being laid, whether the pipe bombs would be placed in that sewage pipe. And then, because the Rangers were here occupying, some servant quarters supposedly, etc., they didn't want to leave the place. And ultimately, what happened was we could not put the washroom because it also went to the press. Their bad luck was that I also happened to be the senior vice chairman of the Council of Pakistan newspaper editors. As a matter of courtesy, whenever my day appears, the newspapers would ring me up to ask me what happened. And they said, oh, you're digging up the Quaid-e-Azamhouse, you're doing this. I said, nothing doing. I said, then he said, send us the notification. I said, let the man who gave you the thing give you the notification. Of course, they backtracked on that, they never put the thing up. But I tell you that this thing was to be blown out of proportion. It was done very deliberately. Just on a sewage pipe, we did. I just want to point out to you, sir, that that is the problem we will face. That, this is a heritage site, I agree. The building, the heritage site. The outlying houses not. How are we going to make this world-class auditorium when we do not have access to make sure that we have the access to the land outside to make the building, where we can have underground car parking, because this place is called car parking, and we have an auditorium library, an auditorium, world-class auditorium. And luckily, the architect, building, etc., we asked, okay, can we do soil investigation? The letter is still lying somewhere. So, what I want to point out is with all the good intention in the world, with everything happening in the world, the problem is that bureaucracy, and the bureaucracy, the people who got allied with the bureaucracy, they do not want this to happen. They do not want things to happen, and that is why sometimes it is frustrating, and very frustrating, because obviously we don't have much time. We have now, according to we've done 3.5 years now, or 4 years, 9 years. Yeah. And I have Haji Rafiq Pardeshi coming and telling me, Karo, Cunica. I have the architect asking us, do that. We are the Racket, of course, the lawyer, and of course, he reads us the Heritage Act and tells us this can happen, this can happen. So we need to find out a mechanism where this can be done away with. I think that the best accolade we can give General Humayun is the fact that when he went past this place every day from the house, he had the vision of the factory. So what is this place like everywhere? Why can't you do something about it? And he did something about it, and that is why we are sitting here. And he spoke to the perfect man, that is the Chief Minister. So that's why we are sitting here. So I again ask that please do something to make sure that the bureaucracy is actually not becomes a handicap Because they will. If they can stop a civic mind, they can do anything. I am very grateful to the members of Karachi Council for Relations who are here, to the members of the General Society who are here, to all the other assembled guests. I thank you. This for me is a momentous time, particularly to thank them. You know, I very unlucky and knew him only for a few short years. He knew me longer because of my articles. But I was really blessed to know one of the finest soldiers that I have known, really. And I have known very fine soldiers. And you know, because I was very lucky. If you people go through my book, you will find, or my volumes of books, you will find that I have dedicated some of them to the finest soldiers that I have known. And Humayun Aziz, you come very much in the top of it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.